Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are doing amazing. This is your boy Case coming at you guys again with another Tower of Fantasy video. Now, today I actually wanted to just lay everything on the table for you guys. I wanted to be 100% honest because I've been paying attention to you guys' comments, and I personally do enjoy the feedback. Some of the stuff that you guys say, I'm like, dude, where does this stuff come from? And it kind of baffles me and it amazes me at the same time. But I appreciate all the feedback, positive and negative. But the one thing that I've just kind of noticed with a lot of the comments and the feedback that I do receive is that a lot of people kind of take my opinions as if I stand on one side. Like I'm on Genshin's side, or if I'm talking about Genshin, I'm bashing Tower Fantasy. If I'm talking about Tower Fantasy, I'm bashing Genshin Impact. And I think that's just me poorly articulating things to you guys on just kind of like where do I stand with everything. So what I'm going to do today is I actually want to just talk about, just where do I stand, what are my thoughts on the game. I was in closed beta, I'm in CN right now. What do I think about the future of this game? And, just talk about just everything. I'll be talking about some other topics as well, but let's just kind of dive right into it. So in terms of Tower of Fantasy, honestly, guys, I'm gonna just be straight up with you guys. This is the game I've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. There is not a game on the gacha market right now that I am looking more forward to than this game. It just has everything about a type of game that I love, especially an MMO. It has everything that I love, and I'm really praying for the success of this game. In my honest thoughts, Tower of Fantasy reminds me of the analogy that, or the saying that, first impressions really do mean something, because I know honestly it started off very, very shaky. The company was doing a lot of things that caused a lot of people within the Tower Fantasy community and outside of it to kind of just go like, hey, like what is this about? Like it caused us some questions to be raised. So but coming into version 2.0, they've really cleaned themselves up, and the game is just absolutely gorgeous. It is so fun to play. It is just so much stuff to do, and I just love this take that they have just really taken with this game, and I'm just looking so much forward to just the future of this game, because the sky is not the limit for this game. It has the potential to be so great, but I just think that there's some things that they just need to just stay consistent. Stay consistent, don't be doing no goofy stuff like the asset stealing stuff or whatever just was thrown out there. So I personally think this is such a phenomenal game. I think everybody should at least try it. Regardless of what everyone says, you need to try this game because it is really that good to me and my personal opinion. Now, the cool thing that's kind of going on within, the Tower Fantasy community right now is to compare Tower Fantasy to Genshin. Now, that's going to be normal because, in my honest opinion, Genshin is the standard. They have reached a height that no gacha game has ever reached before. So they're sitting on the throne right now. So it's only natural that people compare this, new games to Genshin. Like, how does it shape up in comparison to Genshin? Is it going to actually be able to compete? That's a very, very normal thing. But the weird thing that has always been weird to me is just that it's okay to compare the game to Genshin, but I don't think that that's the best. That's not the best game to compare to. Now, I've played Genshin for 2 years. I did something incredibly stupid where I tried to sell my account not too long ago, and I ended up losing it. My own fault. I'm going to have to hold that L. But coming from both of the communities and, having experiences in both of the games, I don't think Tower Fantasy should be compared to Genshin Impact. In all honesty, I don't think that's the best game to compare to. I see way more similarities in Dragon Raja and Tower Fantasy than I do in Tower Fantasy. Sorry, guys, got cut off there. But I was just saying that, there's more similarities in Tower Fantasy and Dragon Raja than it is in Genshin Impact and Tower Fantasy. I just think that that's just a hot trend that's kind of going on right now. But here's the thing, one thing I've noticed about my comments and when I make videos, there's a lot of people who they leave their feedback, some positive, some negative. I'm appreciative of both. Some of the negative ones, I'll just be quite honest with you guys. I'll be like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? Like, what did I do? I just shared an opinion. It's okay though. I chose this path, so that's just part of the journey. But I've just noticed that, when people tend to be upset with me, one, I probably done something stupid, but the main thing is that people kind of feel like I'm picking a side. Like if I'm talking about Tower of Fantasy and Genshin Impact, like I'm pro Tower of Fantasy and I'm bashing Genshin Impact. Or if I talk about Genshin Impact, like I'm pro Genshin Impact and I'm bashing Tower of Fantasy. And that's not the case, because I love both the games. The thing that I'm loving right now, especially when it comes to mobile gaming, is that we have so many freaking good games coming, like Tower of Fantasy. Genshin Impact is an ongoing great game. Ni no Kuni Crossworlds, Diablo Immortal, Arknights Endgame, Honkai Star Rail, and there's so many more. I can go on for days talking about games, that are just, in my personal opinion, AAA titles for mobile games. Because a mobile gaming platform is on the rise. I don't know if you guys know, but you need to know. It is on the rise, and the games that are coming out they are to be taken serious. But the great thing about it is that we have a lot of good games coming out, and they're all phenomenal in their own ways. Now, when it comes to Genshin Impact, and I'm going to say this, for a very, very long time, Genshin Impact was just the game on the market. Like, they were controlling the market. Everybody has been involved in that game for a very, very long time. Yes, other games are out there, but they just couldn't compare to Genshin Impact. Like I said, Genshin Impact is the standard. It has been the standard. And the thing that kind of sucked with Genshin Impact is just like a lot of people in the community, we really see how great Genshin Impact is. But the thing is that as great as Genshin Impact is, we all know, and this is 100% fact, we all know Genshin Impact can be even greater. And you guys can take this on the record that I said this. If Genshin Impact, and this is just me, this is my opinion, if Genshin Impact added the stuff to that I like in Tower of Fantasy, like raids, more in-game content, more incentives to play co-op, just all this stuff that I really personally enjoy about Tower of Fantasy and some of these other games. I'm gonna say this: Genshin Impact would be in a lane of their own where they would literally be untouchable. I probably would not even pay attention to these other games if those things were in Genshin Impact. But the unfortunate part about it is that they're not. And we've kind of seen this consistent pattern of Genshin Impact that has kind of really just gotten, it's not bad, but it's just like, it's not what we asked for. It's not what we requested. And a lot of players, including myself, who were part of Genshin Impact, we're just like, man, like, when is this game finally gonna, reach the greatness that we all wanted to reach? We want it to be great. Nobody here wants Genshin Impact to fail, to become a dead game. No. We don't. That's not the case. Okay, there's people who spent tons and tons of money over there. I would hate to see them lose all that money that they spent on that game. Even the free-to-play players. There's so many people in that game that have invested time and energy into that game. Artifact grinding, all that. I don't want them to lose that. I want to see people once again with that game start having fun. I want people to talk about that game like it is like, dude, this game, you need to try this game again. Like, I want people to start talking about it in that way, like when it first came out, because that we're not talking about it in that same excitement anymore. There's just been a lot of decisions that's been made by Hoyoverse that we are kind of just like left like, man, like with why is it being handled this way? And we're not given a lot of answers, unfortunately, by that company. But the game is wonderful. The game is great. It is great, but we want to see it. We want to see it elevate once again, because we all know that it can. So, in terms of that, I love all of the games. Ni no Kuni Crossworlds, Genshin Impact, like I said, ongoing game that's very, very great. Tower of Fantasy, loved my favorite game that's getting ready to come out. Diablo Immortal getting ready to come out. Honkai Star Rail. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Honkai Star Rail in the second closed beta, because I'm gonna just be honest, that game first closed beta was not attractive to me, and I'm just like, man, I I'm just loving it, guys. The great thing also that I kind of want to highlight too is just that, you know, even though Genshin isn't in a place where, you know, it might not be enjoyable for long periods of time, that's still a benefit, because what I do love about Genshin, and you know, this can be a positive and negative just depending on personality, that, you know, as we're getting all these new games, Genshin has this just kind of format where you can really just log in, do your dailies in like 10 minutes and log off, and you're done for the day. I love that we can do that, and then we can put all of our time and energy and maybe into another game like Diablo Immortal, Ni no Kuni, Tower of Fantasy, Honkai Star Rail, you know, and grind out that game, because those games we don't know much about, just like in terms of just like how grind heavy those games are getting, except for Tower of Fantasy, and I can already tell you it's grind heavy. We can invest all that other energy without losing our progress in Genshin Impact, and that's just an added benefit. So in terms of just where do I stand, honestly, guys, I love all the games. I'm not bashing any of the games. There's nothing negative to really say about them. They're great games. There's nothing negative I can honestly say about those games, because they are all great games in my personal opinion. I don't stand on one side. I stand with all the games. I'm going to be playing all the games, every single one of them. Literally every single one of them. There's nothing you can do to stop me. I'm just be honest with you guys. And I'm not going to bash the games because I want them to succeed. So those are my thoughts. Hopefully you guys got a kick out of this video. As always, guys, make sure you guys rate, like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And please, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. There's games that I'm not even aware of that are going to be great games, and I want to be made aware of what those games are. And just share what you guys think maybe about what I said. You know, some of you guys are going to be like, dude, your opinion is trash. That's fine, bro. Some of you guys are going to be like, hey, I understand your point. You know, I kind of agree with you. And that's going to be awesome too. And then some of you guys are going to think very, very differently. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. So as always, guys, I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. As always, this is your boy Kays. Make sure you guys subscribe. Love you guys so much. See ya.